Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request from Joseph. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, re-commentaries, reactions, rankings lists, randomness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is, he wanted a ranking of John Woo films. Now, John Woo is one of my favorite directors. Up there with John Carpenter. I don't know who would be in my top 5. I know top 10 would include people like Rennie Harlan. Yes, I enjoy a lot of his work. Tony Scott, may he rest in peace. Peter Hyams, who I think is very underrated. Among others. I don't know who would all be in the top 10, but John Woo, when he came into his own with the bullet ballet of violence and bloodshed and the killer hard-boiled bullet in the head, he really made his mark. And if I'm ranking best to worst, I haven't seen all of them. He did a lot of films way back in the day that I never saw. But number one for me is Hard Target. I mean, it's a film I loved ever since I was a kid. I love it even more today. Hard Target, people go, really? Really? Yeah, really. I sincerely enjoy this film for a number of reasons. I'm a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan. This got, you still have his martial arts, but you still have this beautiful slow motion bullet ballet of bloodshed that John Woo did in his first American film. Lance Henriksen is a great bad guy. I love the plot, simple but effective, of don't hunt what you can't kill. A group of people hunting folks, the most dangerous game, but they picked the wrong fucking victim. They picked the wrong man to hunt, and he's going to shove some fucking bullets up their asses. I think John Woo brought his style to America, especially in the work print version. And I mean, I love this film so much, I've made multiple versions of refining my own fan cut. I did my own fan cut, where I took mostly the work print version. I made it so that the numbers were gone, or that you don't see them. I had a few of the theatrical scenes in there which are identical but better picture, and added in the theatrical, the ending is extended compared to the work print. But mostly it's the work print, because I like the way the work print looks, and I like the extended action and extended John Woo vibe. Certain styles and shots. That I always enjoyed the theatrical. When I saw the work print and started doing this, I loved it even more. Even more. And that finale in the Mardi Gras graveyard is one of my favorite shootouts of all time. Kicking a can, a gasoline can, shooting in someone's face, and they blow up out the window. Two guns are blazing. Then kicking the motherfucker in the face and still shooting him even after it. Shooting a guy 18 times and then doing a beautiful 360 kick to his face, to Sven Thorsen, Arnold Schwarzenegger's buddy. Going through a window as it explodes behind you, crazy stunt, and the blast like propels Van Damme's character to going under a table sign. It's, oh shit. I love that stuff. To me, that is fucking insane. And they don't make stuff like that anymore. They don't. They maybe go, wow. They just don't. They just don't. And I know there's a new 4K with a Blu-ray. Funny enough, I heard that the 4K version has audio problems, so I think it got recalled. But people are like, well, you get the Blu-ray, but again, it's still not the full version. It's a longer version because it's the version that was overseas instead of the US, so it's got, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 minutes, but it's not all the stuff. It's not all the action. And John Woo says, well, that's my preferred cut. Well, sorry, John. I think the work print, just cut 2 or 3 things, add the extended ending of the theatrical. That's the preferred cut. Well, just my own opinion. I'm like, well, I'm not paying that much money for this. Even if it has a couple interviews. If it had Van Damme interviewed, then I would. So, it doesn't have the work print version. It doesn't have the full uncut version. And no Van Damme interview. I don't really waste my time or money on it. I really don't. I'll stick with my fan cut. But yeah, I love Hard Target to death. I always will. I love the poster. This is why I put this a lot in my videos, because I love the look of it. This is the laser disc. It was a very nice gift that someone sent me, because I knew I was such a big fan of it. I wish there was like a action figure like this. You know, like this of Danny Glover. I wish there was one of like Van Damme with a shotgun. I think that'd be really cool. Like a standee, like him doing this. Like when he shot that fucking gas can. I always thought that'd be really cool. Or at least some stands with the shotgun. I always thought that. I always wanted it. Someone did a fan one, but then it was a fan one, so you couldn't buy it. Although I'm sure if you could, it'd be way too expensive for me. But there you go. You know, they do. You know how a horror movie, like, do one of those NECA or Todd McFarlane, like one of those type of things with Van Damme Hard Target. Come on now. Yeah, I love it. Number 2, honestly, would be Broken Arrow. I was thinking I would put Hard Boiled, but Broken Arrow, I find it more underrated. Hard Boiled, rightfully so, gets this praise. But Broken Arrow, I always thought it was an underrated film. And I think that film is very fun. I think John Travolta gives one of his most entertaining performances. I said, God damn, what a rush. Yeah, you mind. Yeah. Ain't it cool? He just having a ball making the film. Christian Slater, I like as an actor, and I think he did a good job as the lead, as the hero. It was cool to see him in that type of role. Growing up, you know, he did films like Gleam in the Tube, the skateboarding flick, and he was in Heathers, and he was in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It was cool to see him get a chance, and I thought he did a good job. I really liked him as the lead. I think the stunt scenes are fantastic. Everything on the train in the finale is very cool. Great stunt work. Like when Christian Slater's character swings and kicks Howie Long and his character out the door. I love the fist fight. The score, I think, is one of my favorite action scores by Hans Zimmer did a fantastic job. I love the fight, the way, like, Christian Slater has a good combo. Like, wow, this is a badass combo. That's like in a fucking fighting game. This badass. I love the style. You still have the two guns blazing slow-mo. But yes, it is more of a straightforward plot, which I didn't mind. It let John Woo, just, I think John Woo said in Hard Target, he wanted to do a bit more of his style. This one, he wanted to make more of a mainstream American film. And I'm like, man, I wish more mainstream films were like this. It'd be like, but it's not enough like John Woo. I thought it was John Woo. It's not like John Woo's films. It's funny. People say I want people to make the same thing over and over. It's still John Woo. How he has like two characters play off each other. He does that in his older films. And the way the action scenes are handled. And they're just, he had a budget behind them to make it not look cheap. There's a bit with Christian Slater, Samantha Mathis, and this helicopter crashing down. It's like some good model work, how they did it. But there's no features on the Blu-ray. No commentaries, no making of. There's a making of back to the day, and it's hard to find that without... there was one, but it's like dubbed with a foreign language. And to me, that film deserved a lot more than it got, and to me, that's an underrated gem of a flick, Broken Arrow. That's why I put number 2. It's never gotten the respect it deserves, in my opinion. Now, number 3 is a film that did get the respect and it deserved, Hard Boiled. Hard Boiled, when did I see Hard Boiled? It was on cable. Because I remember flipping through TV, so it must have been around either between, it was between 1998 to 2002, maybe 2001. From 98 to 2001, it was around that time period. Because where I grew up didn't have cable until much late in the 90s. Because we only had like 3-4 channels. That's why mostly I would just watch movies rented at the store when those things existed. Where you could rent movies at the store. And so in the late 90s, it's like, oh wow, cable, finally. And just, what's on cable tonight? What's on cable tonight again? And one day flipping through, and there's this film where I watch a little bit, okay, oh wow, that's kind of cool. And then this action scene started at the hospital, and I'm like, okay, wow. And then as the minutes went by, I went, fuck, this is like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to still go, holy shit. And I was just blown away, like, holy shit. Because that's the finale of the film, but I'm like, wow, what is this? Hard Boiled? And then a lot of times they would if they showed a movie throughout that week or so, that movie would get replayed again sometime, and then I sat from the beginning and love it. Chow Yun-fat, I know that's not, I pronounce it that way because it's easier for me to say. I know some say that there's a more legitimate way to pronounce it that's not exactly, but it did Chow Yun-fat, that's how it was pronounced in the American advertising, just easier for me to say. I really liked his character. I think when I first saw it, I was kind of on the story, but the story definitely grew on me, and the action scenes are fantastic. I think most people would say if most had a ranking of John Woo, Hard Boiled would be number 1, I think, on most people's list. It's a good choice. Did Hard Target, Broken Arrow, they're more of my personal choices, but Hard Boiled is great. I mean, it's badass action, going down the banister, the tea house sequence, the car shop, Chow Yun-fat, just the way the mayhem, the bullets, and not worrying about the MPAA to hold you back, just going full force. That cool bit at the end where Chow Yun-fat gets the gun right into the motherfucker's eyeball. It's like, yeah. It's a crowd-pleasing movie. I mean, it's hard-boiled. And actually, now I think about it, think about this. Don't fall, please. Here it is. This is actually from a guy online called Hong Kong Rescue, which did a fantastic job. This is the best I've ever seen this film look. I did a review of this. Now, the bad thing about this, can't even call it a company, it's pretty much, I think, like a one-man operation. They do great work, but they take fucking forever to come. In fact, I know a guy, a good guy, Fabio. He ordered a movie, I think this one, in June or July. He still hasn't gotten it. So, at this point, if he can, he should, if he could, make a car trip and knock on the door and go, where's my motherfucking movie? Where's my motherfucking... So, it does great job. I don't know if I would ever buy from the person again, though. I'll tell you one thing. the guy's doing Bullet in the Head, which I really want, because that's actually number 4 on this ranking. That's a film I saw a year or two ago, really enjoyed. It was a request someone had never seen it before. I'm like, wow, this is really good. And the guy's doing it for that movie. Same with this. And I did. This is the best I've seen the film. Look, it's got all these features. It looks fantastic. And it didn't cost me an arm and a leg either. It's got all these features. Again, it's the best. What was the? Did they say? True HD 1080p. Yeah, this is actual HD too. And someone was asking me if this is like BDR. I'm not familiar. I mean, I'm guessing it is. I mean, it's not an actual company, but this is what they look like. But I'll say one thing. When the guy releases Bullet in the Head, if I do buy it and I don't get it, I'm going to email that motherfucker every day and twice on Tuesday until he does it. And he's going to be so annoyed, he's either going to give me my money back or he's going to do it. But anyway. But yeah, the guy, I mean, on a tangent, that guy makes good stuff, Hong Kong Rescue, but get your fucking shit together. My friend should not be waiting 6 goddamn months and not get his fucking movie. 6 months. Not 6 days, 6 weeks. 6 fucking months. I sound like the captain from My Come in Peace. But 6 fucking days. Or did he say 8 days? Because I think he said, not even a week, whatever, but 8 fucking days? Sorry. But yeah, Hard Boiled, I love the film. Number 4 is Bullet in the Head. Bullet in the Head is a fantastic movie as well. And I'd never seen the film before. It's about a group of friends and like 3 friends. And throughout the years, because of circumstances, they get pulled apart. And it's actually kind of a touching story with what happens between these 3. One's our lead guy, one kind of becomes the bad guy, and one becomes a very tragic figure. Which the title, I don't want to give much away, but the title definitely fits. And I do think Hard Boiled I like more because of the action and the, kick-ass cop movie. Bullet in the Head, I would say, if there's a film that I think showcases John Woo's emotional core more, or the best, I would say it's Bullet in the Head. I do. I don't want to give a lot away for people who haven't seen it, but it's got some pretty damn... And there are different cuts of the film where there's depending which cut you see, there's a different ending. I did find a cut online that has the ending I like, which is more of an action ending. It's like a 2-hour, 15-minute cut. Which I know is pretty long, but I mean, it's... If you're a John Woo fan, you haven't seen Bullet in the Head, and you can find that, it's definitely worth a watch. That's number 4. Number 5, people don't get pissed with this choice. That and not this. But this is just my list. Number 5, I'm going to put Paycheck. And I know no one's going to agree with that. That's fine. The reason it's number 5 on my list, number 1, I do feel it's underrated. I think Ben Affleck, Uma Thurman, Aaron Eckhart, you got Joe Morton. I think you have a really solid cast. Yes, it's PG-13. I think John Woo handled the action scenes fairly well, though, for PG-13. But I really liked the story. I liked the setup. I liked Ben Affleck. I thought Uma Thurman. Again, I thought I really got into the story of the film. I liked the idea of a guy who his past, future, whatever self set up this deal where he has these items and he doesn't know what to do with them. And because his past, how you want to call it, set this up in detail, how these items get used and how the thing kind of unfolds on itself. Fate is what we make of it. That's the best way to put it. Fate is what we make of it. Literally in this case. So I thought it was kind of an interesting, cool sci-fi story mixed in with a couple pretty decent action. I did nowhere near... And yeah, there are films after this that have better action. The Killer. Better Tomorrow 2. They have better action. But again, I like the story in this. I really do like the story, the setup, and the cast. And so I always enjoyed Paycheck. I never thought it was as bad as people made it out to be. If you're going expecting Hard Target or Hard Boiled or... No, that's not the kind of movie it was, though. But I like that, John Woo Gotches do something different. And it showed that if you're going to do something different, do something interesting. And I thought this was interesting. And again, I don't think it was as bad. I know Kevin Smith made fun of it. Because one of the Q&As, he's like, Paycheck? Well, the title says it all. Which I think is pretty fucking ironic considering who Kevin Smith is nowadays. Masters of the Universe. That wasn't a paycheck, Kevin. It wasn't a love fest because you didn't even like He-Man, the cartoon. You even said in an interview you used to hate watch the cartoon. Yeah, you hate watch the cartoon of old. But then, oh, I love He-Man. I want to do a cartoon. Yeah, that sucked. Balls. Sweaty, unwashed balls. Like your face, Kevin Smith, you stupid, fucking, pot-headed fuck stain. I used to respect you, now it just spit you. Spit on you, spit on your fucking repartee. Because now your career is akin to ripping farts. You're a sellout fucking wanker. Get the fuck out of here, Kevin. Go home, you're drunk. Or in this case, too fucking high on weed. Sorry. But if anybody else don't like Paycheck, that's fine. It's just Kevin Smith is a fucking hypocrite because of it. But like he's bad. Like Ben Affleck did that for a paycheck. Like you didn't do fucking He-Man for a paycheck. You didn't do it for free. To bet you bottom dollar on that. Just saying. But yeah, I like Paycheck. I always liked it. I think I saw it in the theater back in the day, and I enjoyed it ever since. So. Number 6, The Killer. I mean, The Killer... But you got Chow Yun-Fat, and you got Danny Lee, Inframan. I mean, for those who don't know, Inframan is a film I enjoyed from the 70s. It's here. Don't fall. But this is Inframan from the 1970s, which this is a childhood favorite. I always enjoyed it. To me, it's kind of like a crazy ass, almost like a predecessor to stuff like Power Rangers and stuff. But this boy, he's fucking cutting someone's hands off. He's cutting this creature's head off. He'll squish him. You have a great gallery of villains. And Inframan tits a lot of fucking ass in this. He tits a lot of ass. And this is, I mean, just watch the trailer. This is a crazy ass, but very fun movie. Very fun film. And the guy who's Inframan is Danny Lee. Danny Lee, who would be the cop in this film, while Chow Yun-Fat is the assassin who has a bit of a change of heart. And the finale alone is worth the watch. I mean, if you haven't seen The Killer, what are you doing? The story is fine for what it is. It's been a while since I've seen The Killer, so I'm not as fresh on it as I should be. But I do remember enjoying that quite a bit. Number 7 is A Better Tomorrow 2, which I do think is better than the first one. The last bit of the ending, I wasn't sure if they were dead, like if they were going to die, or if they were going to be okay. Maybe I missed something, so that kind of like, you know, so they got shot a lot. Are they dead? Are they dying? Yes, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I wasn't 100% sure, but that one I thought if that was used to better effort. I like the action scenes more. Chow Yun-fat pretty much plays a twin version of his. I mean, yeah, I would call it a twin. I mean, they look the same as the guy in the first movie, but he's more of a good guy here. I don't know, like, there's a badass scene where he's taking people out with a shotgun amongst these very claustrophobic hallways. And I thought, you know, the sequel doesn't really get talked about as much as the first one, but I thought the sequel, especially the finale, you have a crazy fucking finale where these three guys pretty much go into a house full of bad guys and go like insane. And again, I kind of don't want to give a whole lot away for people who haven't seen these movies, but Better Tomorrow 2, I thought was, like I said, I thought it moved a bit quicker and faster and had better action than the first one. Because the first one I wasn't really big on. But the sequel I thought was better. Number 8, Heroes Shed No Tears. That was an interesting change of pace in a way, where that's more of a, it's mercenaries that go into Vietnam to get this drug lord and come out of it. And it's not so much slow-mo, two guns blazing, bullet time of Hard Boiled or The Killer. Again, it's mercenaries to get a drug lord, but in a way it's kind of his version of a Vietnam movie, really. And while I do think the story could be improved a bit more, some of the pacing could be improved a bit more, I still thought it had some rather good action. And I didn't. That was one of those films I'm like, oh, I was actually pleasantly surprised by this. The finale, there's a few things that were, yeah, it's hard because I don't, again, these are films I think a lot of people haven't seen, and I have reviewed them, by the way. If you want to know more of my thoughts, I did review A Better Tomorrow 2 on the channel. I did review Heroes Shed No Tears, and I did review Bull in the Head on the channel. Feel free to watch them. Just go to the channel, and like somewhere around here, you may have to fiddle with arrows or something, but there'll be a magnifying glass. You click on that, and then you type in the name of the movie. And then you go to my channel first, and again, each person has it on their channel that you could click a little magnifying glass and search their channel. Number 9, Once a Thief, which the first half of the film, I'm like, okay. I had issues with it. That's why it went down a bit on the list. But I do think the finale definitely did, where, like, even when I watch it, I'm like, oh man, is this going to be a rant? But I do like the finale. I thought the finale definitely saved the movie. Like, the last 20-25 minutes where Chow Yun-fat and this other guy do this heist, and there's some, like, grenade play and stuff going on. Was it grenade or dynamite? I'm trying to remember if it was grenades or dynamite. Sorry, I've only seen it once. It's been a while. That's another film I reviewed on the channel. But that, and then, I'm like, wow, now this movie's really kicking into high gear. If you don't do it, it might as well be the ending, which To me, it's the most important part of the movie is the ending. That's the thing. Like, if you have a, but you give me a whole shit ending, usually it'll be worth it. Because, okay, if this build up, if you, okay, it's slow or the, but if you give me a satisfying whole shit ending, then it can make up for a lot of flaws in the first half. And Once a Thief is an example of that. Number 10, I put A Better Tomorrow, because I don't think I hate the film. There's a difference between hating and not being a big fan of it. Hating means I fucking hate Alien 3, I fucking hate Last Jedi, I fucking hate Neil Breen movies, I fucking hate a lot of Uwe Boll films. And then it's like, Better Tomorrow, you know, I don't remember hating it, I'm just not a big fan of it. It's not a film I rewatch a lot. There's interesting stuff in it, but it's just, again, not a film. Like I said, the story, the pacing, the ending, there's just issues I have with it. They just maybe made it not the most satisfying entry in the John Woo filmography, at least for me. But that does seem like the film that kind of introduced people to the John Woo heroic bloodshed, as they call it. Like, what's heroic bloodshed? Idea this, A Better Tomorrow kind of started that for John Woo. I think that's where it gets a bit more praise because of that. But I think John Woo's done a lot better films than the first Better Tomorrow. I think the sequel was better. But now, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, these are films I strictly don't like. 11, Face Off. I've never been a big Face Off guy. I'm sorry, I haven't. I don't know, I wouldn't say I hate the film. It still has some really good action set pieces. The boat chase, very well done. There's some really good stunt scenes. There's a bit where a guy's going up the stairs and you see this big explosion that's just catching the guy almost at his feet as he's going up the stairs. Some really nice stunt work. I like the musical score, especially in the end credits. But it's just like John Travolta, he's doing better than Nick Cage, but I've seen him do this better, and it was in Broken Arrow, where he's like the bad guy having fun. Nick Cage was a big problem with me. Like, him being the villain over the top was fun, sure, but very zany, very comedic. But then him, like, trying to be the sincere was... He's done that well. He did that in 8mm. He did that in Con Air, where he plays the good guy, The Rock. But in Face Off, it just came off as just... Some people love the campy aspect. To me, it just... I want his face off. It took me out of the movie. It took me out of the film, and it made me go, this is fucking stupid. And it's also too long. Like, it's a pretty long movie, and I don't think it needs to be that long. But, I don't know, just Face Off. A lot of people love the film. That's also the film that everyone goes, that's the one true good American John Woo film. I'm like, you want to Face Off? Keep your Face Off. I'll keep this movie. So, let's see. Number 12, Mission Impossible 2. Never been my favorite Mission Impossible. That's actually one of the one. I like the first one more. I like the third one more. I liked Rogue Nation and Fallout. I really enjoyed. I really liked Rogue Nation. Ghost Protocol, a lot of people love. That's my least favorite. I could never get into Ghost Protocol. But like I said, I really liked Rogue Nation, and I really liked Fallout. 1, Road Nation, Fallout are my 3 favorite Mission Impossible films. I don't know which order is that, but like Ghost Protocol is my least favorite. I like Mission Impossible 3. This was my second least favorite. I don't think John Woo, in a weird way, I would say I don't know if he's right for Mission Impossible, but I just could like the story. I could not give a rat's ass about the story in that movie. I've seen the film at least 3 times in my life. I still don't remember what the fuck the story was. I know Anthony Hopkins was in it. I know Tom Cruise does a thing on his a wheelie on the front of his motorcycle. I know it's got Dougray Scott, who lost the Wolverine role in X-Men 1 because this went over the schedule. Does Dougray Scott, the villain in that, was going to play Wolverine, but it went over schedule. He had to stay there, so they had to recast, and I'm sure Dougray Scott thinks about that more than once or twice in his life. And probably has a shooting range with Mission Impossible 2 poster. I could have been Wolverine and made all this money, you motherfucker! But, Mission Impossible 2, I like the theme song by Metallica. The Mission Impossible theme. Ba, ba, da. It's my favorite version of Mission Impossible theme. Now, was it Metallica? I'm trying to think who did the Mission Impossible. For some reason I want to say Metallica, but I don't think it is. I think I think they did another song. God, who did the Metallica? Who did the Mission Impossible 2 theme song? Damn it. Sorry, I gotta look into it. Mission Impossible 2 theme song. Who did that? Why do I keep thinking Metallica? I don't know. I think they did another song for it, that's why, on the soundtrack. Limp Bizkit, that's right. How the hell did I forget that? Yeah, Metallica did the song I Disappear. Limp Bizkit did the song. And I actually like Limp Bizkit. I know a lot of people don't like that band. I actually like Limp Bizkit. I do like that theme song. I don't know why I didn't. I got Metallica mixed up with a different song they did. I like that theme song, Limp Bizkit. Yeah, I liked it so much I forgot the band. But it's been like forever since I've even thought of I keep wanting to say Metallica. It's been forever since I've thought of Mission Impossible 2, so bear with me. But that kind of there you go. I never really rewatched Mission Impossible too much. But I do like that theme by Limp Bizkit. I like the band. Yeah, I like the WrestleMania song they did. Crack at it. 'Cause I'm addicted to cracky skulls. Yeah, I like that song. There's other songs of Limp Bizkit I like. But yeah, Mission Impossible 2, even the action scenes, it's not that they're badly done, but just like, I don't know. They just the whole movie never did much for me. Just not got, like Mission Impossible, some of the stuff I get into is the plots. And that plot was just, and even the later Mission Impossible films, Rogue Nation and Fallout, I think they have crazy well done action sequences. And like I know like Paycheck is PG-13, but again, the story helped that out to overcome, not having the R-rated John Woo stuff. This, you don't have the John Woo action truly with PG-13, and the story, in my opinion, sucked. So, yeah, not a fan of Mission Impossible 2. Number 13, Blackjack. That's down the list because you got Dolph Lundgren. John Woo and Van Damme got this movie. Now you got Dolph Lundgren. But it's a fucking movie that was a pilot for a TV show. And they spent all the money in the first 10 minutes. Because the first like 10 minutes is like this crazy action scene with Dolph Lundgren shooting these bad guys around, even using a fucking trampoline to shoot bad guys. And they spent all the money there. Because the rest of the film, pilot, there was stuff in it, but nothing near that. And, fuck. You make the character... My fucking throat literally caved in thinking about this. His phobia is the color white. White. Does it mean when he comes, he fucking has a heart attack? That means the guy can never jerk off unless eyes closed. What? Phobia of the color white. Because there's literally a scene where he's fighting the bad guy and he's stopped because a milk truck like crashes and goes over him, and I'm like, John, what? This is Dolph Lundgren. You guys character being afraid of the color white. God damn it. What the fuck? So fucking stupid. Fucking dumb. White. Color... Are they... I mean, yeah, there's a part of me that would have been curious about the TV show, because Dolph Lundgren in a TV show would be cool, but this was the wrong way to start it off. I mean... You blow your load in the first 10 minutes, and then you have a character that would be afraid to see his load blown. Oh, I'm so afraid of the color white. Why did they think that would be his... Whoever wrote that idea... Explain to me, please. Explain to me why. Number 14, Windtalkers. Which I guess that's the other war film. I know he did Red Cliff. I'm not interested in watching Red Cliff. Not my cup of tea. I'm sorry. I'm just not interested in it. Windtalkers, I wasn't even really crazy about that movie. I think because I didn't care about the supporting cast. I didn't care about the guy who Nick Cage had to help. And didn't care for the ending. I don't know, just that movie never did it for me. Windtalkers. It's a film I barely remember because I watched it and I barely care to remember. At number 15 is Manhunt, which is a film I ranted on, and I ranted on hard, but I gotta be honest, I don't remember a damn thing about the movie. That shows how much I hated it. See, that's the thing. Many times if I hate a film that badly, I just want to forget it. And it's like my brain becomes the recycle bin on a computer. Will we just put in there and just delete it from the mainframe? Zip, nothing, nada, zip. And that's what I did with Manhunt. I have a review of it on the channel. I ranted on the piece of shit. And I don't remember what the fuck I said about it. But I remember saying, man, if this is what fucking John Woo does nowadays, he shouldn't... It was so bad I said, John Woo retire. Like, if this is the type of movie you're gonna make, there's no comeback. But I can't remember what the fuck happened in the movie. And I don't really care to rewatch it to find out. So, yeah, Manhunt... Feel free to check out my review. It's on the channel. I just remember just despising that fucking film, though. I think it was so bad. I must have had some kind of PTSD or something. Like, amnesia on that fucking movie. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.